Hi, my name is Rosemary Kelly and thank you for visiting the Hope Spring website. The purpose of this video is to give you a short overview of the lymphatic system and briefly explain the risk of a condition called lymphedema. We will also quickly go over some of the resources that Hope Spring can provide to you, whether you are a local resident within the Waterloo region in Ontario or if you are somewhere else in the world, by furnishing you with informational links. My talk is about cancer and lymphedema, and I want to tell you what lymphedema is. It shouldn't be confused with lymphoma, which is a cancer of the lymphatic system. Lymphedema is a swelling of a body part as a result of fluid accumulation due to damage to the lymphatic system. It's a chronic, progressive, disfiguring condition that, if left untreated, can lead to changes in the skin and its underlying tissues, causing deterioration and infection. There is no cure, unfortunately, but it's treatable and manageable. Early stages are reversible, but always at risk of progression. It can affect anyone. This is very important to note that it can affect men, women, and children. And it can occur anywhere in the body, not just the limbs, but the face, the neck, the back, the chest wall, the breasts, the trunk, and the groin. The cancer lymphedema link is based on the risk that occurs with removal of lymph nodes and increases if radiation is part of the treatment. If a person has had lymph nodes removed in radiation, he or she is at a lifetime risk of lymphedema. Some will never show signs of lymphedema, others will experience signs and symptoms within weeks, months, or years after surgery or radiation. Now I have an illustration of what lymphedema looks like in the arm, so I'm just going to turn my computer around, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that picture, but that you can really see in the larger arm the swelling in the hand. I also have an illustration of lymphedema in the legs. I'm not too sure if you can see that. Unfortunately, I have no illustrations of lymphedema occurring in the trunk or the chest wall, but as you can see, it is a greater swelling. And how does that occur? What is the lymphatic system? It's a network of organs, lymph nodes, lymph ducts, and lymph vessels that produce and transport the lymph fluid from tissues to the bloodstream. Lymph contains white blood cells, leukocytes, especially lymphocytes, the cells that attack bacteria in the blood. The lymph system is a major component of the body's immune system. It includes the tonsils, the adenoids, the spleen, and the thymus. And how does it move? Now, this is really an important part of your knowledge about how to take care of yourself regarding your lymphatic system, especially if you're at risk. Unlike the circulatory system that's pumped by the heart, the lymph relies on deep breathing, for example, laughter, and muscle expansion for it to be propelled through the lymphatic chambers. Since many of the lymphatic pathways lie just underneath the skin, it requires only gentle physical movements to help the lymph circulation. Manual lymphatic drainage, MLD, is a specific gentle massage that also helps move the lymph. If you want to imagine your lymphatic system as traffic and your lymph nodes as toll booths, when you have a healthy lymphatic system, the traffic is running through the toll booths, all the toll booths are open. But if you remove lymph nodes, it's like closing up the toll booths. So what happens to the traffic? It has to divert into a more narrow area, and this can cause a backup, which is the swelling that you'll see in a limb. So basically, the amount of lymphatic fluid, when it exceeds lymphatic transport capacity, protein-rich fluid collects in the interstitial tissue, the tissue between the cells, causing pain, swelling, and disfigurement. Subsequently, oxygen availability is reduced to the tissues and wound healing is compromised, providing a welcoming culture medium for bacteria. The risk is a cycle of infection and a specific type of infection called lymphangitis. The programs that I facilitate at Hope Spring all have the common denominator of lymphedema education, information, and handouts. Laughing Lymphercise is a movement set to music, done safely with chairs always used for rest and balance. Props are used for most exercises, bringing an element of fun to each routine. Participants are encouraged to go at their own pace and stay within their own range of motion in order to avoid pain and injury. The class is ongoing and participants are welcome to join at any time. I don't know if you can see this illustration, but I'm going to make an attempt. This is just, if you can zoom in there, I'm not sure, an example of some of the props that we use in the classes. We'll see if you can see that. Otherwise, come to a class and I'll show you. Laughter yoga is something else that I facilitate here. This is Dr. Madan Kataria's program. It's modified for safety for cancer survivors, as it's done sitting on a chair. Yoga, the word yoga means mind-body. And in the case of laughter yoga, we start with exercises that imitate and stimulate laughter, using the breath and the mind to mimic it. But the feel-good endorphins are created whether your laughter is real or not. Your body can't tell the difference. Eventually, the body does take over, and real laughter will ensue because you're in a room full of people acting really silly, and it's completely infectious. A good laugh is a great cardiopulmonary exercise. By augmenting deep breathing, laughter uses the stomach muscles to create the healthy pressure and release that moves the lymph fluid. This is called diaphragmatic breathing, and laughter releases endorphins, which reduce pain. The laughter-lymph connection is important because it's simple and effective, and it helps strengthen your lymphatic system. I also do a much longer lymphedema awareness workshop, providing an in-depth look into the lymphatic system, the lymphedema causes, prevention and management strategies, treatment explanations, information, and resources. I am an active part of local, regional, and national and international networks of lymphedema professionals. I'm a co-facilitator of the Lymphedema Support Group here in KW. I'm active within the Lymphedema Association of Ontario, the Canadian Lymphedema Framework, and the International Lymphedema Framework. I'm accessible online, and I have 2 websites, and I'm just going to show you at the very end here my 2 links. And there's a lot more in-depth information if you want to visit them. rosemarykelly.ca or laughinglymphercise.ca, and it'll give you more information about the classes and about exercise after surgery. Thank you very much for visiting the Hope Spring website today.